What is your most used emoji?
It'll have to be the poop emoji. Oh, goodness.
Do you have like a story behind why?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I've been using the poop emoji frequently. I don't know why. Especially when you have the guy standing, you have that, what is that? Like that wind emoji, and then you have the poop behind it. It looks like someone farted, and then I always send that to like my brothers, but that's just me. I mean, whatever. That's fine.
What?
I'm Steven Zarate, and this is my story. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. Wasn't there for long, only I think it was about 6 to 8 months, and we had moved to a small town called Brunswick, Nebraska, and that's where I originally grew up. I kind of grew up in a Christian home. My mom, when I was, I think, 2 years old, my mom gave her life to Christ at a church in Madison, Nebraska, but my dad wasn't in the same boat. So we had lived that way for a few years in Brunswick, and I went to school in Plainview, went to elementary school there. Just a few years after we had moved to Brunswick, my brother ended up being diagnosed with epilepsy, and that took a huge toll on my family. It was at that time my dad started to say, like, all right, I'm going to give my life to the Lord. I want answers. Like, I need to seek God more. It took a toll on me because I hate seeing my brother like that, my best friend, my older brother, being diagnosed like that. A few years go by. My parents, now fully committed to the Lord, felt like they were being called to be missionaries in Greenville, Tennessee. So they prayed about it, and a few months later, my dad's like, all right, kids, pack your stuff, here we go. So I was like, where are we going? Oh, Greenville, Tennessee. And we're like, what in the heck is in Tennessee? What is there? We lived in Tennessee for about 4 years, but my dad was jumping from job to job, trying to bring income to our family. We lived in a not so pretty trailer park, and it was really hard for us just to even afford bills and stuff like that. It was starting to take a toll on us because my dad, it was hard for him to have a job. And then 4 years later, we decided to make the return back to Nebraska. And so when we did, we went to Norfolk and lived there all through my high school. I just wanted to fit in. That's all I wanted to do, is fit in and be with the cool group. So I did. 4 years into high school, last year, senior year of high school, I went to this event called CIY with the youth group called Fuel. The speaker had said this verse, Isaiah 41:10, and it says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And that verse really stuck with me that night, and I didn't understand why. And that last night when that speaker said that, I walked out, I was crying, and I told myself, Lord, I feel this emptiness inside me. So my youth pastor came out and prayed for me, and he's like, Steven, be patient with the Lord. God loves you. He will always be with you. And I didn't understand at the time. I was like, all right, Lord, I'm going to get to know you more. High school's over, graduation, and then college is coming up, so I decided to go to Wayne State. The first few weeks were kind of tough just because I didn't really know anyone, just some high school friends. And when I met this group of guys, one day in Berry Hall, I met this amazing group of guys. They invited me to Crew. I went to their weekly meeting, and it was incredible. There was an amazing group of people there. It was a big group. And then a few months go by, first year, and then December comes around, and they invite me, hey, come to DCC with us. So I did, and it was super fun. I met a lot of new people, a lot of great people. The last night, I felt like there was this emptiness inside me. And then the speaker at the last night had said the same verse when I was at CIY in Lincoln, and it was Isaiah 41. He said that same verse, and I was blown away, like, whoa, what the heck? And Steve had came up to me that night, and he had prayed for me. He's like, do you truly believe in the gospel? Do you love the Lord with all your heart? Instantly, the light bulb came up in my head, and I told myself, you know what? I lived my entire life trying to get to know Jesus and have the knowledge of him in my head, but it never made that 18-inch journey from here to here. And that night I told Lord, I love you. I want to give my life to you. I want to restart and do this all over with you again. So I did, and it was an incredible night, and the years go by, and I'm attending Crew, and just having these guys disciple me and getting to know great people and great groups. It was at that moment I told Lord, this is you. This is how much you love me. This community is great. And I remember the story of Barabbas. In the Bible it says, and I think it's in Matthew 27, it talks about Barabbas and Jesus, where the crowd had to choose wanted these people to be set free because it was a tradition for the Jewish people. And Pilate, the governor, told him, which one do you want, Barabbas or Jesus? And the people right away said, we want Barabbas. This thug, this thief, this murderer, they wanted him to be free. And I didn't understand, like, why? What has Jesus done? And then I realized I am Barabbas. Every day, like, I live in sin and I try to strive to be better, but yet we still fall short. Barabbas was free because Jesus loved him. He loved him so much, he's like, go, Barabbas, go. I'm going to go in your place. And we are Barabbas. God took our place. And when he was dragged by the crowd to be crucified, I can see Jesus look back at me, the one with the cups, and unlocking the cups. And he's like, oh, go, Barabbas, go, Stephen, go, you. Be free. I could see Jesus looking back at me and say, go, live your life. I will take your place. I will take your place, Stephen. Don't worry, I love you. I will always take your place. And it was at that moment, the gospel truly did make that 18-inch journey from my thoughts to my heart. This is the story of how Jesus has changed my life. Has he changed yours?